Hello friends, welcome to Testing Talks Latest. In today's video, I am going to explain top 10 programs asked in Selenium and C# interviews. These are all the most common interview questions. Subscribe our channel for the latest interview questions and tutorials. Let me share my screen and explain the top 10 programs asked for Selenium and C#. The most common interview question as part of the Selenium is that page object model explanation in C#. Page object model can be handled by different pages in the application. So to handle login page, we can create the login page class. As we see, login page class have different methods such as enter username. So this will be called from the login test, so that we need to create the login test and call the login page. And so as part of the login test, we have the structure of the login test like this. We should have imports such as Selenium and Chrome and framework, NUnit framework for execution. So as part of this, we are created a WebDriver with name as _driver and login page and base URL. So as part of the setup is the NUnit annotation, and as part of the setup, we are defining the driver with Chrome driver, and we are using navigate to go to URL to launch the URL. And this method like implicit wait for 5 seconds, driver dot manage window maximize to maximize the window, and we are initializing the login page using the new login page and passing the driver here. So next we are using a test annotation, and we are passing the login page dot enter username. So this will be called the login page method enter username and pass the text Tom Smith here, so that our enter username method will be executed. This is how page object model will be defined, and you see locators are part of the page class. So this will be called from the page class itself. Next common question as part of the Selenium and C# is that how to handle explicit wait. There are two kinds of waits in Selenium, and that is implicit wait, explicit wait, and fluent wait. Explicit wait is the most common wait we will use while doing the execution. So as we see, WebDriver wait equal new WebDriver wait, and passing the driver and time span from seconds. As part of the Selenium with Java, we'll use duration. As part of the Selenium and C#, we are using time span from seconds. 10 seconds it will be wait, and we are using wait dot until expected conditions dot element visible by ID username to wait 10 seconds if the object is not found until 10 seconds, and assign it to the iWeb element. So there is small changes as you see with Java. We are using iWeb element instead of web element and iWebDriver instead of WebDriver. Such small changes will be there as part of the C# with handling. Top 3 question asked as part of the Selenium and C# is that how to handle dynamic web tables. So to handle dynamic web tables, we are able to use driver.find elements and passing the locator such as /table with ID table1 /tbody tr. tr is the tag referring rows. So we are fetching the all rows under tbody tag from table. So and assign it to a list of iWeb element and giving the name as rows. This will return the all rows, and we're looping for each row using for each. So for the row, we are fetching the text here. If row text, if that row contains text such as JSON, we are fetching the element which is the cell value using row.find element and passing the td4. This will be find the td with the 4th index, and later we are returning here. So we can also find all the rows and all the cell values using just simple by giving the td, and we can also check each cell to find the text. Instead of specific verification, we can use. Fourth commonly asked question is how to capture screenshots when test failed in Selenium and C#. To capture screenshots, we can define iTake screenshot with the name of TS and casting with the driver. So next we use screenshot and assign with ts.get screenshot to fetch the screenshot, and using screen.save as file, we can save it in the specific path with a file name such as test name, which we are passing in the argument, and along with the date.png. This is how we can capture the screenshot. We have to call this method take screenshot and failure using test listeners whenever the test is failed. Next common question as part of the Selenium C# is how to handle the mouse actions such as hover. To handle mouse actions such as hover, we can define the driver and we can navigate to the URL, and later we can fetch the element. We can fetch the element using driver.find element and passing the XPath. Once we have the locator way to perform hover, we can create actions class with new actions and passing the driver, and using the actions move to element and passing the locator, we can hover the element, and that perform we can use performing the hover. So, and we are checking the caption after hover. So we are checking the H file. Seeing this, we are matching the like whether we perform the hover or not. Next common question is how to switch window or tab in Selenium and C#. So here we are getting the current window handle so that we can return to the current window later once switching. So as part of this, we are getting the all window handles and go through each window handle using driver.window handles, and within the for each loop we are getting the each handle from all the handles and switching to the page using driver.switch to window handle. If driver has title as specified target title which is passing from the method. So for example, if we are looking for the Facebook, we will pass Facebook as the title, and if driver title equals to Facebook, we are returning, so that it is matches. Once returning from here, before returning we can do whatever the actions, and later we can return to main page using driver.switch to window. Next common question as part of the Selenium and C# is how to check the broken links. To find the broken links, we can use find elements by tag name A. Links will have the tag A, so that we are returning all the links into a list of iWeb element, and later we are defining the strip client with the name client and looping through the all links. So, and getting the URL using get attribute for the link. Get attribute its reference will return the URL. If URL is not empty and start with HTTP, we are sending the response. We are getting the response using await client dot gets async URL. So this will return the response. If response is greater than or 400, greater than 400 means 400 is related to client server error, and 400 series will have client server related errors, and 500 series will have server related errors. So these are all the broken links as per our findings. Next common question is how to handle the alert pop-up. So to handle the alert pop-up, we'll switch to the alert using driver.switch to alert and assign it to iAlert in Selenium C#. So, and later we can use alert.text to fetch the text of the alert, and alert.accept to click on OK, and alert.dismiss to click on the cancel, and also alert.send keys to input the text in the alert box. So these methods, accept, dismiss, are common in Java too, but there is small changes with the caps case of the past method name, such as accept is the small cases in Java, but the A is the uppercase in Selenium and C Sharp. So those are all small changes with Java and C Sharp. How to handle drop down in C Sharp is the top 10 question in Selenium. This is the most common asked Selenium question even in Java. So to handle the drop down, we can use select element. Before that, we are defining the IUF element with name as with ID country select we used, and driver.find element we used to get the element, and we are passing that to the select element class, and we are using select by text or select by which value, or select by class, select by index to handle the drop down option. Select by text will be select the drop down option based on the text value, so text displayed in the drop down box. Select by value will be based on the value of the option. This value, if you want to check, you can check by inspecting the element. Index will be 0 based, and second index in the sense third option can be selected by using select by index. And there is additional options. If you want to check selected option, you can return using select.select option, and if you want to check all the options using select.options, and if you want to check multiple options are selected or not using select is multiple, since multiple options also can be selected for some drop downs. So these are all the common questions for Selenium and C Sharp. Subscribe our channel for the latest interview questions and tutorials, and thanks for your support.